Have you ever just stopped and looked at the sheer variety in the animal kingdom? I mean, you've got these tiny little rabbits, and then you've got these gigantic camels. But what if I told you that underneath all that fur, feathers, and scales, they all operate from the exact same survival guide? Well, let's dive in and crack that code. So, let's start with a question. What could a cute little guinea pig and a massive desert-trekking camel possibly have in common? The answer isn't what you might think. It's got nothing to do with how they look or where they live. The answer is a number. 5. Yep, there are exactly 5 essential things that every single animal on this planet, no exceptions, absolutely needs to stay alive. And today, we're going to break down this universal blueprint for survival, piece by piece. All right, first up, let's get the most obvious one out of the way. Food. You can think of it as the high-octane fuel that powers the entire engine of life. And believe me, without it, absolutely nothing else works. You know, every single thing an animal does, whether it's a fox leaping through a field or a tiny hummingbird beating its wings 80 times a second, all of that requires energy. Food is where that energy comes from. It provides all the essential nutrients for growing, for healing, and for all those super complex processes that keep an animal's body ticking. And as you can see right here, animals have come up with some incredible ways to get their fuel. You've got your carnivores, like lions, with teeth literally designed for tearing meat. Then you have herbivores, like zebras, with these big, flat molars, perfect for grinding up tough plants. And of course, you have the omnivores, like bears, who kind of enjoy a bit of everything. But no matter what's on the menu, the goal is always the same. Get that energy you need to survive. Okay, so we've covered the fuel. Now let's talk about what keeps the engine running smoothly. Our second essential need is water. And just like oil in a car engine, it is absolutely critical.
Seriously, think of water as the ultimate multitasker. It controls body temperature, it helps digest food, and it's basically a non-stop delivery service, carrying nutrients and oxygen to every single cell in an animal's body. Without water, life would just grind to a halt.
And how an animal gets that water totally depends on where it lives. A cow on land? It's going to drink from a pond. But a fish living in that very same pond has a completely different method. It can actually absorb water right through its skin in a process called osmosis. How cool is that? Some animals, like the desert tortoise, have even figured out how to store water for over a year. Just amazing.
Our third need is something we can't even see, but no animal can live without it for more than a few minutes. I'm talking about air, or to be more specific, the oxygen inside it.
So if food is the fuel, you can think of air as the spark that ignites it. There's this incredible process called cellular respiration, where oxygen unlocks the energy that's stored in food. It creates this powerful little molecule called ATP. And ATP, that's the universal energy currency that powers every single thing an animal does. And once again, the animal kingdom just blows your mind with its creativity. We mammals, of course, we use lungs. But check this out. Insects use these tiny little holes on their bodies called spiracles to get air. And some creatures, like earthworms and certain amphibians, can even breathe directly through their skin. It's just incredible. Okay, so we've got energy, hydration, and oxygen covered. An animal's next big priority is safety, right? And that's where our fourth need comes into play: shelter. A shelter is so much more than just a roof over an animal's head. It's a sanctuary from crazy weather, it's a fortress to hide from predators, and it's a safe, cozy place to raise a family. It's the ultimate home base.
And these homes can be as different as the animals themselves. You know, for a tiger, it's a den. For a rabbit, it's a snug little burrow underground. And for a monkey, home is way up high in the safety of a tree, far away from any danger on the ground.
And that brings us to our fifth and final need. An animal can have all the food, water, air, and shelter in the world, but without this last one, none of it really matters. They need space. See, space is so much more than just elbow room. An animal's territory is its personal supermarket, its security system, and its nursery. It's where it has to find its food, where it can escape from danger, and where it raises its young. Without enough space, an animal just can't thrive, not physically and not mentally either. So, there you have it. When you put all 5 of these things together, what you get is the universal blueprint for survival that applies to every single animal on Earth. It's that simple and that profound. Let's recap. Food for energy, water to keep everything running, air to unlock that energy, shelter for safety, and space to do it all in. That's it. That's the fundamental checklist for life in the entire animal kingdom. And that brings us to a final thought. You know, it's easy to forget that we humans, we're part of the animal kingdom too. So just take a second and think about it. How do you meet these 5 needs every single day? How do you secure your food, your water, your air, your shelter, and your space? The answers might be a little more complex for us, but the needs, they are exactly the same. So, what does that say about our place in the world?